Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator news and updates, and we've got live traffic updates from FSL TL. We have Latin VFR's update to the A330, a first very teasing look of the 777, and more information to share with you guys today, so stick around. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkills tutorial guides from Microsoft Flight Simulator, or simply interested in supporting the channel, please consider joining us on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future releases that come down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below. Alright, so first up, let's talk about the update to the freeware live traffic injector, FSLTL. Now, they have released their latest update to the traffic injector, which brings a plethora of changes and things that I think that we're all going to enjoy. So first off, let's talk about animations. Animations such as thrust reversers, flap, landing gear indicators, or animations have all been adjusted to seem more realistic to the untrained and trained eyes. Also, new lighting effects, as you guys can see here in the image shown on, it almost looks like they're using the new light mod that can be found on flightsim.to, which is a fabulous choice if that's what they are doing. The other really cool thing they've done with the lighting is they've now made sure that the lighting will actually disappear with the gears as the gears are retracted. So for example, that's not going to be all lighting that's like your taxi light. The taxi light are also stuck to the individual nose wheels, and when the nose wheels retracted, the light will no longer be shown. The other thing they've done is changed all the sounds from startup to shutdown with the AI traffic to give a much better experience, especially citing specifically to headphone and VR users should notice a major difference, as well as a bunch of new models. The models themselves have been updated. Over 1,900 liveries now exist with FSLTL, and also providing an update to the VATSIM model matching, giving you a much more immersive experience. Remember that FSLTL is completely free, you guys, and probably, in my opinion, the best AI traffic injector currently existing in Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is the same developer who is also working with the Beyond ATC development team for their traffic injection. So that goes to say something on how skilled these guys at this team are. Remember that it can be installed by using the Flybywire installer found on Flybywire's website, you guys. Simply download the install, and there is an option for FSLTL, and that's the same location in which you would execute the product once you are ready for its use. It is very, very lightweight, very limited frame rate hit. There is some frame rate hit because it is still using the Microsoft Flight Simulator to control the AI once it is shown. I believe all traffic, meaning taxi instructions, flight routes, etc., that's all controlled by the sim. So, and then anytime that you have a whole bunch of new model traffic, you're going to see an FPS hit. But the other cool thing is that you can actually reduce the amount of traffic that is shown with FSLTL. When you first launch it, there is a sort of DOS looking window that gives you the option to determine how much traffic do you want shown. Do you want 100% of the traffic that is detected, or do you want, say, only 20%? So you can cater it down to your system's needs, and that way you maintain a good experience while still seeing some traffic flying about the sim. Latin VFR provides an update to their A330. There has been a lot of feedback in regards to Latin VFR's A330, both positive and negative, since it was released, but they are a company, again, who seems to be listening to the community. So they've made a bunch of bug fixes and things like that, but they've also some more further quality of life, specifically to the electronic flight bag. One of the things is persistent Navigraph integration, so you won't have to worry about constantly reconfiguring the Navigraph portion of the EFB. Flight plans can now be loaded into the system, as well as payloads directly from SimBrief as well, so you no longer have to do that manually. Me personally, I actually enjoy doing that for, I would say, 90% of my flights. It's just part of the fun of setting everything up for me, but I know some people just like to be able to think and you're on your way. Also, texture updates and modeling updates. Level of detail updates have also been done, especially for the cockpit texturing, specifically for Xbox users. I do not believe this impacts PC users specifically, but for those of you who are in the Xbox, there is an option, I believe, to reduce the level of detail in the cockpit, therefore increasing your frame rates and increasing the immersive and enjoyable experience of the aircraft itself. They've also made some quick announcements stating that the A340 is still under current development and that the external model is just about complete. The A340, I'm actually pretty excited for. It'll be nice to have another 4-engine aircraft coming to the sim. I hope that eventually, hopefully this year, I have, and this is just speculation and hope, that's all this is, but I'm really crossing my fingers that we get some more information on the A380 soon. We haven't heard from Flybywire in regard to the A380 in quite a while. So the A340 would still be a nice aircraft addition to the simulator, seeing the another 4-engine aircraft brought in. So cross your fingers that comes along pretty nicely and that meets the community well. There is no kind of release date or any expectation as to when the A340 will be available, but it is being worked on, and again, the external model, from what they say, is completed. So hopefully that means that we're on to bigger and better things soon. Not going to go into a ton of detail on this one, as there isn't really a ton to show, but in Robert Randazzo's, the lead developer from PMDG's latest post, he did show a teaser of the exterior landing gear, like there's an interior landing gear, on the landing gear of the 777 that is being developed. And this is, the teaser here, you guys, is that this is inside of Microsoft Flight Simulator, showing that the external model is obviously near completion. And that they're comfortable actually having it inside the sim. So here you can see the incredible level of detail that's being put into this aircraft when you take a look at just the complexity of the landing gear. I will give them that. This is a ton of detail, everything from tire wear and tear, tread marks. You can even see the Bridgestone name there. So you guys definitely brings a lot of focus to the amount of detail that we can expect with the 777 when it releases from Microsoft Flight Simulator. I would imagine that we're probably no less than a year away, so I'm not going to take too much time on this one, but it is nice to see. The 777 is another one that I am super excited for, especially from Nice. I cannot talk today. PMDG. I love all of their aircraft. I think they do absolutely amazing work. Sometimes we get a lot of it's almost ready, but as I've stated before, I would much rather them take the time and keep the hype coming, and when we get it. But it is definitely one of those aircraft that I can't wait to get my hands on. The 777 is going to be a lot of fun, I think, and definitely a nice bridge gap, whatever you want to call it, gap bridge between the different aircraft. You get that it's still a 2-engine aircraft, but you get that nice big giant wide body. You can fly just about anywhere in the world with it. So the options become pretty limitless when it comes to the 777 and what you want to do with it. And it's just a big freaking damn plane. Gosh, that's a large plane. And so I think that's probably its greatest appeal, is just that the thing is huge. So, hopefully I'm wrong and maybe we'll see it in less than a year, but I doubt it. But it was still kind of cool of them to put the teaser photos out. And again, I always do appreciate seeing the level of detail that's clearly being put into this aircraft. Let me know what you guys think and what your speculation is. How long do you guys think until we see the 777? Fly Tampa, probably one of the best scenery developers really across all the platforms, but obviously in this case specific to Microsoft Flight Simulator. They have, in my opinion, the best Las Vegas simulation, or scenery update, I should say, not simulation. And they just updated it to include the new digital sphere. For those of you who don't know, this is a real sphere. The entire exterior of its theater is what it is, if memory serves, like a concert hall, it is a giant screen, both inside and out. They can do all kinds of different things, basically set it up however they want. But whenever there isn't something going on, I believe this smiley face is always looking around. Personally, I think it'd be kind of creepy, but we'll see what happens when it comes time to go to Vegas in June for the Flight Sim Expo, which we'll be talking about here in just a minute. Anyway, Fly Tampa. Gosh, I am so sorry. I cannot talk. Fly Tampa Vegas version 2. It has been released, and you guys can pick this up for $20 US. It is definitely worth it. Like I said, I think it is the best rendition of Las Vegas that is currently out there, and the fact they updated to include the sphere, that'll be kind of fun. I'll be downloading the latest update, and we'll be doing a flight out there here pretty quick, and we'll make sure to do a night flight so we can get a good sight of the face here, or the theater. But it can be visible in both day and night, so make sure that you guys check it out. It's pretty cool. For anyone who might have missed it, I'm sure that you guys have heard all about it, but I do want to touch on it once again because it was really incredible. The Heatblur India Fox Techo F14 Tomcat has released for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it is a fantastic rendition of the aircraft. I flew it for the first time the other day live with you guys, or not live, but in recording with you guys, but for the first time. with the Pimax crystal. And for the first day release of the aircraft, obviously there are still some things that need to be optimized and fixed. And they've already released an update to the F14 Tomcat. But I'm telling you guys right now, it was an absolute joy to fly. As you guys know, there are many developers who are doing jet and military aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I do not want to put down any of their hard work. Bringing in the Heat Blur team, for those of you who might be unaware, Heat Blur developed the F14 Tomcat for DCS World, which is an incredibly high fidelity, dare I say, study level version of the Tomcat for DCS. It is every feature, bell and whistle is modeled inside of that simulator. So I want to make sure that you guys understand the significance that Heat Blur was involved. Between India Fox Techo obviously doing the great work that they do as well, you couldn't have asked for a better pair up for this aircraft. And speaking to some of the other developers, we know that there have been military aircraft that sometimes fly like they're on rails or on an elevator. This was smooth. From the time that I got this aircraft rolling to pulling back on the stick for takeoff, it was freaking awesome. I had a wonderful time in this aircraft. I've probably flown it 3 or 4 hours since then, and just really had a lot of fun. I sort of made my own air show. I probably should have recorded it, but I didn't. But I was sort of screwing around, made my own air show with it, and had a great time. So if you guys have not picked this aircraft up yet, I highly recommend you do so. If you guys are Tomcat lovers, you will absolutely love it. The Rio Jester is a ton of fun. He's a goofy guy. He'll say all kinds of crap to you. He will also yell at you if you do something dumb. He also walk you through the aircraft, do his checklist. He can do auto start. There's a ton of different features in the aircraft. Trust me, well worth the money, and I think they're only charging $35 for it. And to give you guys a comparison, I know at launch, I don't think it's still this expensive, but if I remember correctly, at launch with DCS World, I think it was right around $80. So you know, it's a bang for a buck. Trust me, you guys will definitely appreciate the quality that was put into the aircraft. And a real quick heads up, you guys, it has begun. It is time to start talking about Flight Sim Expo 2024 that will be held June 21st at the Tropicana in Las Vegas. Now, I am super excited. I had a wonderful time meeting so many of you guys last year in Houston. We will definitely be going again this year to Las Vegas. It's a heck of a lot closer for me too, which will be nice, as I am in Tucson, Arizona. So this will be definitely something that's welcome for me. I'm going to be very appreciative of the fact that we're back in Vegas. The funny thing is, the first Flight Sim Expo I ever went to was in Vegas. It was at I believe it was at the Flamingo Hotel, if I remember correctly back then. And again, it was a wonderful time then. I will say this last one in Houston was larger. There was much more to do than there was the first time I went, and I'm sure that that's only going to continue to increase this year. Registration begins, I believe it was December the 17th. You guys can start purchasing your registration now. You can save some money by staying at the Tropicana. I know there are opinions of the Tropicana, guys. I will leave that to you. I have my own as well, so don't worry about that. But that's not going to change the quality of the show itself. So the show is not going to be impacted by the Tropicana. Again, we all have our opinions, but I had to toss that out there just so you guys had the heads up on that. But either way, I hope to see you guys all there. We'll be talking more about the Flight Sim Expo as more information comes down the road. Make sure that you guys start signing up and get ready to enjoy an awesome experience with me. All right, my friends. Well, that is going to wrap up today's episode of News and Updates. I hope you guys found some value information, some things to be excited about. As always, folks, stay safe and healthy, and I shall see you in the next one.